Hey guys, welcome back to some more videos, and welcome back to our collection update video. This one's going to be kind of big, so just going to forewarn you guys for that. This is probably going to be a pretty long video, and I got a lot of stuff here to show. Most of it was from the Black Friday sale from back in November, so these have been quite a while of a wait to get here. So in between November to now, also I bought some stuff before November that I wanted to show, so this is quite a bit of months of build to get to this collection update video. And yeah, I wanted to get on here once this stuff finally came in. I was like, all right, finally I can do an update video, because I've had these movies sitting over here for a while, and this finally gives me a chance to do the video. But I want to start off with something a little bit different, because I typically start these videos out with the normal releases, and then by the end I'm talking about the box sets. I wanted to talk about the box sets in the beginning just to switch it up a little bit. And the first thing I picked up was the Batman Beyond Complete Series. I'm a huge fan of this series. I love Batman Beyond. To me, Batman Beyond is one of the fine examples that I can show of how the Batman universe can continually reinvent itself and have brand new things and constantly improve and constantly try something new and different. What I love about the Batman universe is that they're always doing something unique and different. Even though you have the core values of the character, they still do a lot to make this a very different experience. So I really do appreciate that. And I appreciated that this followed up and was a sequel to the original animated series, which I was going to get, but they only had a DVD copy of that. So I wanted to get it on Blu-ray to match this. So one day down the road, I will be picking up the original animated series as well as the Superman animated series on Blu-ray. But for now, I got Batman Beyond. Then the inside pretty much looks the same. I mean, it's a little different on the back. You see one of the Jokers fighting Batman. Not the Joker, but one of the Jokers. Pretty cool. And then after that, we got Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. Many years I've been meaning to check this out. I own the movie on 4K. I did an update video talking about that for a little bit. It's actually going to stand. I own the movie, and I love the movie. I think the movie is a great Creepshow 3 that we never got. And it's kind of a damn shame that we never did get a good Creepshow 3. Because even though we did get a Creepshow 3, I don't really look at that as the true Creepshow 3. I know it says Creepshow 3, but I never even acknowledge that film's existence half the time. And I think Tales from the Dark Side of the movie is a wonderful Creepshow 3 that we never got. But I also know that it's a movie that is based on the series, which I heard good things about. And I never got a chance to watch the series. So I figured this would be a good time to get started. I wanted to start watching these horror shows that everybody was talking about and loving. You know, this, Masters of Horror, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, which I'll be getting, excuse me, probably next time. I'll be getting Tales from the Crypt, the complete series, which is pretty cheap as well. And yeah, I'll be checking these out as soon as I can. Now, the thing is, I don't know if there's Blu-ray copies of this series out there. I could not find any. So, this DVD set was fairly cheap. Brand new set, too. And I don't know if they ever did a Blu-ray release of this. I wasn't able to come across one. So, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But here's seasons 1 and 2. The cool thing about this being a DVD set was the artwork. Because I think if a mainstream studio would try to release this now, this is Paramount. Maybe Paramount would do a pretty good job with the Blu-ray of this. They tend to do pretty good special editions of their releases of physical media. But we got 3 and 4, seasons 3 and 4. Again, kind of going in totally blind to Tales from the Dark Side. Don't know much about it, but I'm very excited to check it out. And moving on from that, we're getting to The Twilight Zone, the complete series on Blu-ray. This was actually, I mean, I get it, it's a long show, so maybe for the amount I paid for it, it was a good deal. But out of all the big giant sets of these shows, this is definitely the one that's a bit more on the pricey side. If you want a cheaper version, there's the DVD box set, but I did not want the cheaper version of this because, granted, I haven't seen a lot of the Twilight Zone. I've only seen most of the first season, but I loved the first season. I've seen about 5 or 6 episodes, and I loved all of them. They were all unique and different and cool. And this is a great example of a show that you don't need a bunch of violence and gore. You don't need a bunch of cursing and just over-the-top extreme stuff. Gets just down to it. Science fiction, somewhat horror, mystery, thriller. It has all that in one, and I really appreciate that. And I love the Twilight Zone series so far. And I know it's a big, giant show spanning across several shows. There's the show from the 80s, the 2000s, the 2010s. So I know there's several versions of the Twilight Zone, but I'm very excited to jump in and give this series a big watch through. It says right here, 156 episodes. So yeah, I'm definitely in for quite the ride with this series, and I'm pretty excited. I would show you guys the discs, but the thing is, this is that same damn case that those Universal Monster DVDs came in. And you kind of have to be really careful with that set. And if you open it too crazy, you know, just pop it open, discs will just fly out. So you got to be really careful when opening it. It's not as bad as the Universal set, but I don't know why they would put it in this giant case with all the discs just jam-packed together, just asking for scratches. So, not a big fan of the packaging. I would have appreciated it if it was a big box set where it was a bit bigger, but you had a lot more room to work with as far as taking the discs out and stuff like that. But did get the Twilight Zone box set. Got this Courage the Cowardly Dog, the complete series, because I'm a huge fan of this series. This is my favorite cartoon. Growing up, it was this, the Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There's so many of them. Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, Johnny Bravo. I was a huge Cartoon Network fan as a kid, and Courage the Cowardly Dog was right up my alley. I mean, later on in my life, I became a huge horror fan. So looking back on it, I can see my roots in horror, loving the horror genre, coming back to this show. I absolutely love Courage the Cowardly Dog, and it's very cool to finally have the complete series. I also got it because I'm not sure how much longer that's going to be on HBO Max, because they tend to take things off, and out of nowhere they just do that. They remove things. Picked this up, Christmas, our classic Christmas favorites. There we go. Take 3, we got it. We got 10 holiday favorites. Bit of a deceiving set because there's 2 sets. One of them is extremely expensive. One of them is extremely cheap. And I got the cheaper one. And I guess I just got cheaper quality because this has, granted, you have the original animated Grinch movie, which I love. But then you get a bunch of sequels to these, I forget what they're called, but they're Christmas specials on TV from back in the day. I forgot what they're called. But you mainly get the sequels in this set. And it was very cheap. It was very, very cheap. But the other set, the Blu-ray set, actually comes with everything. This comes with the Grinch, and then a bunch of sequels to Frosty and the Santa Claus movies and Rudolph, and so we'll see. We'll see if there's any good things in there. I got it because I was in the Christmas mood, but then I realized quickly this had the sequels and not the originals, so I'm very disappointed about that. But you do got a little bit different artwork in there. So yeah, I got that. It was very cheap, so I guess I got what I paid for. Next up is a Roger Corman cult classic all-night marathon 2-disc special edition. Take a breath. Vampires, Mummies, and Monsters. Comes with Lady Frankenstein, the Velvet Vampire, Time Walker, and Grotesque. Mainly you only heard about Lady Frankenstein and Grotesque. I did watch Lady Frankenstein, and I quite enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Next up is The Velvet Vampire, and then I'll watch the rest. So, yeah, pick that up. And next up, we have Happy Birthday to Me on Blu-ray. This was a part of the, back when it was like Kino and Criterion were having a sale on Barnes & Noble. So I picked up some Kino titles as well as some Criterion stuff. And this is one of the Kino titles I picked up, and that is Happy Birthday to Me. Never seen it, but a lot of people have given it some good praise. So I'll definitely check that out whenever I can. Then we got Burnt Offerings on Blu-ray. I had it on DVD for a long time, upgraded it to Blu-ray, really cool artwork. So we got Burnt Offerings. Then to add to the Batman collection, I've also got The New Adventures of Batman, the complete collection. Now this is pretty cool. I believe this is the 70s Batman show, if I'm not mistaken, either the 70s or the 80s. But I know this is around the time, this is right after the Adam West show. And I couldn't really find this show anywhere else to watch. So I'm making it sort of a mission right now to go through the entire Batman catalog and just watch as much as I can, as well as read the more bigger comics that are out there. But The New Adventures of Batman on Blu-ray, if you're looking for it, it's at Walmart for very, very cheap. And yeah, comes with the entire series. Not a very big series, but yeah, I figured why not give it a watch. Then we have Brick on Blu-ray, which is one that a lot of people have given high praise over the years. I think it won a lot of awards, so it's a very big, well-known movie. Then we got Link, which I'm not super familiar with. I'm familiar with Richard Franklin, the director, as well as Elizabeth Shue. But this movie, I heard a lot of good things about. And this director, I had seen some of his other work and really liked it, so I wanted to pick this up. So we got Link. And we got A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night on Blu-ray. Picked up Dogtooth on Blu-ray because I've been watching this director's work a lot lately. I've seen Kinds of Kindness recently and really enjoyed that movie. It's a very strange, out there movie, and I heard this one was also pretty bizarre. Couldn't find it anywhere else to watch, so picked it up on physical media. Big fan of the director, so we'll see if I like that one. Can't believe I found this one at Walmart for, I think, like $9. The Descent on Blu-ray with a slipcover. It's the unrated version. Kind of one of those movies that's hard to find on Blu-ray. So I couldn't believe I found it with the cool new slipcover too. So The Descent on Blu-ray finally upgraded from DVD. And up next, it's pretty blurry. God dang it, why is it so blurry? Come on. And up next, we got a Tarkovsky movie, Stalker, from the Criterion Collection. I have another one of his movies called Mirror. I still got to watch them. They're pretty long movies, so it'll be a while before I see them. But I do want to have them in the collection just for when I'm ready to watch these films. And Stalker is a very infamous movie that he made, and had to get it. Part of the Criterion Collection. This is one that I actually watched pretty recently called Bound. I highly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was extremely well made and acted, and it's got a lot of tension in there, suspense. I've very much enjoyed this film. Bound. Great movie. Then, of course, gotta have Brazil. This is one that's been talked about for many years, recommended to me. And I figured the Criterion Edition would be the perfect one to own. So, we got Brazil. Then we got one that I'm a pretty big fan of, and that is Harmony Korine's Gummo. Masterpiece of a movie. I love this movie. There's something about this movie that just... It's such an interesting film. It draws you in. It's a unique experience. There's no other movie like Gummo, and the more I revisit this film, the more I love it. And I think Gummo is a masterpiece. So I'm very happy to own this movie. I'm glad that Criterion put that in the collection. Then I picked up Fantastic Mr. Fox. Another film I think is a masterpiece, and I wanted to own it, so got the Criterion. Up next, we got a few releases from Massacre Video. This is a more smaller distribution label that I really enjoy their work, and I appreciate them going out there and putting these more lesser known titles out there for people to watch. And one of those movies I picked up was Beaten to Death, a fairly newer film, came out in like 2022, and I love this movie. This movie is so underrated, so dark, so brutal. I think it's a very well-made movie. It's an incredible movie for how low budget it is. They pull off a lot of insane stuff, and this is the best transfer from Massacre Video thus far. I think they did a wonderful job. The movie looks amazing, and they did a great job with giving it a slipcover. Then, of course, the custom artwork and everything is cool too. And yeah, they just did a really good job with this release. Then one I also picked up was Blood Eaters, aka Toxic Zombies. It was a very fun film. I checked it out, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was pretty good. Pretty fun. This is one that I still got to watch, 555. It interested me for a while. Pretty wicked cover there. You got like a decapitation going on. But yeah, 555, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything. I've never seen it. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. I'm very excited to check it out. I think it could be really cool. Some pretty gory artwork there. And up next, we got some 4Ks. We got a Steelbook 4K of Taxi Driver. One of those movies that I just never get tired of watching. I can watch this movie over and over and over again, and it never gets boring. It never loses interest. It never gets old. It's a masterpiece. It's a true one of those very rare, perfect movies. And pretty cool to own it on 4K Steelbook, because I've been wanting to get that on 4K for a while. Then we got 2001: A Space Odyssey on 4K. I had to, man. I mean, it's 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's one of the most incredible film experiences I've ever had. And I had to pick it up on 4K, man. So I got that. We got The Lost Boys 4K. And the reason I was able to pick up so many 4Ks recently is because I got these for an amazing deal. These were all under $20. So I was getting these for a steal. So I went crazy, basically, and went and bought a bunch of 4Ks because they were selling them for extremely cheap. So I picked up a lot of titles. But The Lost Boys is one that I really wanted to upgrade as well. It's a 4K. A bit bummed about this one because it's cool that I finally have Blade on 4K, but they're releasing a really nice steelbook that has way better artwork, so I am kind of salt, but it is what it is. Also got Purple Rain. Seen a little bit of it on TV growing up. Never got a chance to watch the full movie, but I've went back and listened to a few of Prince's albums, and I really enjoy his music, so picked up Purple Rain. The Wailing on 4K. The Thing on 4K, which is a pretty cool release. I watched a few minutes of the beginning of it. I wanted to see how the 4K transfer looked and everything, and it looked pretty good so far. It comes with the 4K, and funny enough, it comes with the Blu-ray that I used to have, the old Blu-ray, the same disc and everything, so pretty cool. The Thing on 4K. Then we got a 4K steelbook of Labyrinth. They also have a 4K steelbook of The Dark Crystal, so if if you like both movies, they have both movies on Steelbook. And I love Labyrinth. I think it was a great experience watching it. It was a great movie. And it was one that after I watched, I wanted to own it. So we got Labyrinth on 4K, Steelbook. We got Full Metal Jacket on 4K. Blade Runner on 4K, the final cut. Checked it out. I really love this movie. I think Blade Runner is a masterpiece. Shout out to Mac for pushing that movie out there and making me aware of it. I mean, I always been aware of it, but I had never checked it out. But Mac was a big reason why I watched that, so shout out to him. We got the Monster Squad on 4K. Crazy enough, a movie I've never seen, but it was basically explained to me as the Goonies, but what if the Goonies were fighting the Universal monsters? And I was sold instantly. So we got the Monster Squad, and finally, after so long of a wait, we got Babylon on 4K. Probably one of the best films I've seen in my life. It was emotional, it was impactful, it was important. And I think if you're a fan of film, anybody out there that loves film, the history of film, check out Babylon. It's an amazing movie and an amazing story. So it was honestly a travesty that I didn't have that on 4K sooner. Next up, we got some Vinegar Syndrome releases. These are the ones that took quite a bit of time to arrive, but finally, they're here. We got a Blu-ray of Sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things. Heard a lot about that one. We also got Argento's Trauma with a really cool slipcover. And this is one that I've also heard a lot of great things about. Can't wait to watch that one. Then also we got a really awesome slipcover for Hell's Trap, which is pretty awesome. Then we also have The Ghost Dance, which is one that Corey, aka King Need Gore, recommended to me. And he was like, check it out, man. They got a really cool edition of it, and I love this artwork. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll check this out. And we got reversible artwork, which might be the original poster art. Ghost Dance. Really excited that I picked this up. What Really Happened to Baby Jane, and the films of the Gay Girls Writing Club. So you not only do you get this movie, but you also get quite a bit of other films in there too. Was pretty excited to pick this up because that is one that a lot of people had given some high praise to. So I was very excited to finally be able to get a copy of What Really Happened to Baby Jane. And then I like the inside gimmick of like a newspaper article, which is pretty cool. I like that. Then we've also got Santet 1 and 2. This is a film that was also recommended by Corey, and with the wicked artwork, I couldn't deny it. Then we got a Blu-ray of Psycho Girls. Kind of a blind buy, but I really dug the artwork. Then the last film in this collection update video is Buried Alive on Blu-ray. Another blind buy, but again, the artwork really sold me. So yeah, there it is, guys. This is the haul from probably around 3 or 4 months of getting these. So actually, this video didn't take as long as I thought it would. I kind of burned through some of these, so I was able to keep it pretty snappy. But yeah, so that's the collection update video. Thank you guys so much for checking the video out, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.